All right, I'm going to also today do here at the tail end of July a quick vegetable garden tour. So let's check out what's going on in the big one. Garlic was harvested a few weeks ago, and a lot of the garlic was here. You can see the sweet potatoes. I'll see if I can inset a picture here. These sweet potato vines were ones that I started, slips from sweet potatoes that I grew last year. And these are ones that I bought. And you can see there's a couple, I don't know if you can see these dead looking things. There were a couple that did not make it. But the ones that I started are definitely doing well. And then there's other ones here. And so we should still get a, hopefully, very productive sweet potato harvest in a couple of months. This is a tomato plant that I planted, about 3-4 weeks ago, that I had started a little later than all the other plants as something, it's a New Yorker variety. It's kind of an all-purpose tomato. I started 3 tomato plants to have as sort of like a midsummer addition to the garden. You can see this one, I need to get some staking done on it. It's starting to get kind of tall and gangly, and the stake that I had is not very tall. So this definitely needs a little more support than it's currently getting. But she's got tomatoes, so I'm very curious to see if we get something good from that. I also did a Rio Grande and a Moscovich. And then over here is a tomato plant that's growing that was a piece that tore off of one of these that were the original tomatoes that were planted. And it rooted in. So when I've heard people say that you can do that before, I tried it with 2 pieces that tore off. This one was one, and then a different tomato plant had a piece break off. And so right here is the other one. Sorry, I'm just taking off this branch that's got some blight on it. And as you can see, it seems to be doing okay. It's got some tomatoes growing on it. So yes, that works to take a piece off of a tomato plant. So tomatoes those are the more young tomato plants that were put in as kind of like a late midsummer edition. This is the Sun Gold, and oh my gosh, these cherry tomatoes, I literally come out here and just eat them off the plant. They're so sweet. They almost taste like what grapes taste like, and look how it's just going crazy. I purposely planted it next to this trellis because where I'm pointing the camera right now is all this plant. It's crazy bananas big. And the thing about it that it's very productive. The problem is I really don't like the orange yellow tomatoes preserved any kind of way. So if anybody has any ideas, please leave a comment. I definitely will dehydrate and can tomatoes from all my other varieties. I just don't love the yellow orange ones. This is a new type for me this year over here called Ruby Red Slipper. And so it makes kind of like a, I don't know what you call these, what shape, but they will get red and a little purpley. And so you can see it's got lots. It's very vigorous vining as well. And then we also have a cherry over here. I very intentionally tried to put all the cherries so they could trellis on the fencing. So this one's called Black Cherry. That looks like one that's almost ready. And oh, that one split, so I just throw those in the woods. I've tried a couple of these. They're not bad. I think these are ones I'm going to dehydrate to use for throwing into sauces to add a little extra tomato boost, or to grind up to make tomato paste. So another one that's pretty vigorous. It's growing up and over and outside the garden. And then the other cherries style that we have is we have my Steady Eddie Pink Bumblebee, and this is a volunteer, and so I don't know if you can see it, there's a volunteer that's here as well. I was kind of hoping these might be Chadwick cherry. I didn't start any Chadwick cherry, but it's just a nice traditional red cherry tomato, and I was going to be good with some of those if I got one as a volunteer again, because those are good for dehydrating. Anyways, so we'll see how these turn out. I'm waiting for those to start to turn to see if that's what we've got here. And then you see this flower here. Well, that is actually a carrot that has bolted. We have some carrots here. I haven't picked them or harvested them yet. That's something that's going to happen here soon. And I have a couple that bolted, and right now I'm leaving them thinking that I might see like if I can get some carrot seeds and plant them in another couple weeks. I don't know, just to see what happens. And then the main section of tomatoes is looking pretty good. I was very proactive this year with keeping things pruned and trimmed and supported because I was going to be gone for a couple of weeks. I got back a week ago, and these in the back that are bigger were kind of starting to come this way over top of the front row, but it wasn't so far gone that I wasn't able to kind of get them up on the fence line or the fencing and kind of going over if they're gonna keep growing. And you can see we've got lots of green tomatoes everywhere. These are called plumsicle. Oh, here, I can show you. And they're, I think, kind of related to or a cross with aroma and something. And they are just a really nice small Roma style tomato, but does still have a good flavor. I've actually been able to pick a couple of these, and I've been pretty impressed. This is another new one this year called Tangerine Crim. I think this one is close to being ready. They're supposed to be kind of a yellow with like a dark shoulders, and they're a cross with something and the black crim. So I haven't tasted one of these yet. I've been waiting till they got the darker shoulders to make sure that it was all the way ripe. But I am not mad about what we've got going on so far. We just have a lot of stuff that hasn't ripened, but that's kind of normal for our area to have things stay on the vines green for a while. We do have some stuff that is starting to ripen, so I will pick those and take them in the house and let them finish ripening in the house. I do have a few. This one I'm noticing is getting very blighty. This is a new variety I'm trying this year called Delicious. Nice big size of tomatoes. This is going to need some, I'm going to come out here probably tomorrow and trim off all of these leaves and branches that you see. Tomato plants don't need a lot of leaves. That's why these plants are looking kind of thin in the foliage department. It's on purpose because otherwise there's not good airflow, and then you get this stuff spreading. So some of these need another little cleaning up. And then you can also see I was very intentional. I planted, there were onions here. There's a few that hadn't quite flopped over yet, so I hadn't harvested those, but we've got green beans and basil and some alyssum. And oh, it looks like I need to harvest green beans, but that is all through as a form of natural pest control with the basil and the alyssum. And there was also some dill, although it's looking kind of sad. The basil and dill help. Basil in particular helps with the hornworms not being as interested in your tomatoes, and the alyssum also helps bring in beneficial pollinators. The dill does the same thing. So those are some ways that you can kind of organically pest control. So what else have we got here? This poor guy, this is a valiant tomato plant. I don't think it's going to do anything. It's probably going to have to come out. We've got a bunch of carrots here that are about ready to be harvested. You can see I've got another one that bolted right there. There were onions and garlic in here, so I need to get in as soon as I get the carrots harvested, and we're going to plant some, we're going to leave the lemon balm and garlic chives and basil. And then I'm going to plant some things like green beans and maybe some beets and parsnips, but mostly green beans, because even if I don't end up harvesting green beans, they will help fix nitrogen in the soil and almost like a cover crop. And then over here, the last big section is our peppers. You can see I've got some jalapenos that have turned red, so I need to get in here and do some harvesting. I've got some chili de arbo. Those are really spicy, like a cayenne, that are ready to be harvested. I've got 2 different poblano plants that probably need to have some harvesting done. I've got some jalapenos that I can harvest, some green ones as well. And then these are Fresnos, which is similar to a jalapeno, but just a little bit spicier. And so I like these, the red ones of these, for having an option that's a little bit spicy. You can see I've got some basil. I started from seed in here that's coming along, hoping to make some pesto later on this summer. And then over here, for the most part, are the sweet peppers. This one is pepperoncini that I tried this year. I don't know for sure what I'm going to do with those. I gotta figure out if I'm going to just try to pickle them or what. But this plant has been spotty almost all summer, so I don't know, it may get pulled out. And then there's some green onions in here, kind of as a pest control, and also just some green onions. And so lots of peppers growing. I have already harvested a few yellow ones or orange ones. Haven't gotten a lot yet that's turned red. There's lots of foliage, so I'm not sure if you're seeing. Oh, these that are purple is a type called freckled plum, but they're not done yet. When they're this bright purple color, I need to keep waiting and let them turn red. So we've got just a bunch of different varieties, and just wait turning their final colors. And then I did remember peppers seem to take a while. Oh, how'd we get turned around? Peppers take a while, so right now we're just waiting on things to start turning colors. That's blot. It'll turn red eventually, but it goes through a couple different colors. There's some basil tucked in there to help with pest control. So things are coming along, and you may have noticed that I've got some things scattered, like some marigold, some lemon balm. There's another marigold, some nasturtiums, lots of basil everywhere, some oregano, lots of herbs that helps with bringing in pollinators and also repelling some things that maybe we don't want. So that's the big garden. The small garden just got a turnover. If you want to look at the other video I did, and will be posted around now on getting my fall garden started. That garden over the small garden that's what's going on there. So thanks for joining me here today for an update on the vegetable garden in Aunt Susan's garden.